Hello and welcome to Untwisted Threads. This is Drops Brushed Alpaca Silk. The 77% alpaca, 23% mulberry silk yarn features 36 colors. The colorway that we chose is 22 Pale Rust. This 25-gram skein with 140 meters or 153 yards works up as a worsted weight yarn. The suggested gauge on a US 8 or 5mm needles is 17 stitches and 22 rows per 4 inches or 10 centimeters. For our swatch, I will be using a 4.5mm needle size. In today's video, we're going to review and score Drops Brushed Alpaca Silk using our 5 categories, which are availability, softness, traction, durability, and cost, to help you decide if this is the best yarn for you and your next project. Stay tuned until the end for a few pattern recommendations as well. Would you like to see how all of our yarns compare to one another or enter to win our monthly giveaway? Join our free newsletter linked in the description box below. Let's get started. For availability, we give Drops Brushed Alpaca Silk a score of 2.5 out of 5. You've heard the spiel before, how this Norwegian-based brand of yarn isn't super available here, but there are a few options. Currently, it's not available in shops in the US and in only a few colors on Amazon that we know of. However, I purchased and shipped mine from the United Kingdom and was very satisfied how easy it was to order and have it shipped to me here in the United States, and received it in less time than some larger yarn companies in the United States take to even package my order. For softness, we give it a score of 4.8 out of 5. You may be familiar that some think that alpaca is scratchy or itchy, and well, you can probably tell our opinion on that for this yarn just by looking at its score. It was like working with a cloud. My sensitive skin didn't find it at all irritating, and we were quite impressed with the quality of how this yarn felt. For a comparison, it is softer than Knit Pick Stroll and ever so slightly less soft than Isager Soft Fine. I'd say it's pretty comparable to Drops Sky. For a micron count or softness scale rating, we can pretty confidently give it a score softer than Merino at say a 17. Not quite cashmere, but pretty darn soft. It has a core of silk, which is the shiny bit you see here in the middle, and then the alpaca is all brushed out to make it super fuzzy, which I think they definitely have succeeded in making it fuzzy. So unlike mohair, where the fibers tend to stick straight away from its core, this one is a lot more rounded in shape. If you're sensitive to wool yarns, or more specifically alpaca yarns, you shouldn't have any issues with wearing this yarn, but I absolutely recommend making a swatch with one first and trying it out before you make an entire garment with it. In terms of warmth, alpaca fibers are lighter and warmer than sheep's wool, but also breathable. Their fibers contain air pockets that can provide great insulation in the winter, but are also breathable, allowing it to keep you cool in the summer, making it naturally thermoregulating. As a fun fact, it can absorb up to 11% of its weight in moisture, meaning it can dry fast and insulate better than merino wool when wet. And of course, if you'd like to feel this yarn before buying a skein, check out our yarn card tier on Patreon. The link is in the description box below. For traction, we give it a score of 3.5 out of 5. For as fluffy as this yarn is, it honestly wasn't the most difficult to work with in comparison to, say, a single strand of mohair. This could be due to using a larger needle size, as it was easier for me to feel and work with my stitches. Even though the yarn seemed to stick to itself in the skein, I didn't experience this when working with it. It wasn't super slippery on my nickel-plated needles either, but you could always use bamboo or wooden needles instead for more traction and control. We do also want to mention that the stitches weren't super even or cohesive, but that could just be due to the nature of a mohair style or brushed alpaca yarn like this. We just don't have a lot of experience with yarns like these yet. For durability, we give it a score of 4.5 out of 5. Alpaca actually stands up better to everyday wear compared to wool. Similar to Peruvian Highland wool, because of the harsh environments of Peru and in the Andes, alpaca wool is much hardier than, say, a merino wool. This yarn also contains a small silk content for its core, which is also a very durable fiber. How the yarn was twisted and constructed did make the ends of the strand come apart when pulling on it, but that can be prevented by, well, not pulling on the ends of the yarn. When it came to the stress test, it is so brushed and round that it didn't show any pill balls fabric to fabric. And as if it could get even more fluffy, the alpaca fibers appeared more after feeling it with my hands, but no pill balls after that either. For cost, we give it a score of 4.5 out of 5. For being a 25-gram skein, you can expect to pay $3.63 US per skein, depending on the day and the conversion rate from the British pound. That breaks down to 2 cents per yard, meaning a size medium sweater would cost approximately $30. Overall, we give Drops Brushed Alpaca Silk a score of 3.96 out of 5. Wow, Drops did a great job with this yarn. Although it is advertised as a yarn class C or worsted weight yarn, personally, I would probably treat it as a lace weight yarn with a strand of wool so my garment isn't so see-through and to help prevent the alpaca fibers from stretching over time. So we had a little look on Ravelry and wanted to share a few pattern recommendations with you, hopefully to inspire you if you're wanting to use this yarn for a project of your own. The first pattern is the Daydreamer cardigan by Veronika Lindberg. It comes in 9 sizes with finished bust measurements ranging from 40 to 67.5 inches and suggests 6 to 12 inches of positive ease. She recommends using 1 or 2 strands of yarn to get an airy or lightweight feeling like Drops Air with a mohair. This cardigan is worked seamlessly from the top down, featuring a half fisherman's rib stitch. First, the yoke is worked flat while shaping the neckline and raglan increases for the body and sleeves. The lower body is worked flat while leaving the stitches for the sleeves on hold, and then the sleeves are worked in the round. Stitches are picked up from both front edges separately and worked in double knitting. Lastly, stitches are picked up around the neckline for the double folded collar. The next pattern is the Cauldhame scarf by Suzie Blackman. It comes in 1 size with finished measurements of 72 inches long by 10.5 inches wide, not including the fringe. It recommends 6 shades of yarn to create the plaid intarsia pattern and 2 strands of yarn held double to meet gauge. This lightweight and cozy scarf is knitted flat and features a non-rolling selvage hem. The last pattern is the Cargill sweater by Clow. It comes in 11 sizes with finished bust measurements ranging from 30 to 67 inches and suggests 1 to 3 inches of positive ease. The sample was knit using 1 strand of fingering weight wool and 1 strand of a lace fuzzy fiber to make a DK weight gauge in pattern. It is knit seamlessly from the top down with an all-over dip stitch pattern. The back neck is cast on and shaping is worked. It is then joined in the round and raglan increases are used to shape the yoke. The body and sleeves are split, the sleeves are put on hold, and the body is finished. Then the sleeves are picked up and worked without decreases. Have you used Drops Brushed Alpaca Silk yarn before? What yarn would you like for us to do a review on next? We would love to hear your thoughts and recommendations in the comments below. If you enjoyed today's review, please give this video a like and subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you next time.